What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geek Boutique podcast. That's right. You're not imagining things. You actually saw a little bit of a logo come up on screen, or our intro actually come up on screen, and not only hearing it when you go listen to us. We changed our platform. We're now with Melon app, Streamlab platform. It doesn't matter. What does matter is going to be able to do a bunch more stuff for you guys here live on the podcast. Now, tonight, we've got some special guests along with us, and we've got a special topic. And we've got a lot of questions this week on Instagram about what is GameCon. Well, you are in luck, because tonight you're going to find out what GameCon is, because we're talking to the people from. Well, I'm going to have fun playing with this stuff. That's right. We're talking to the people running GameCon. The toys. Okay, so first of all, before we get started here, if you're watching us here on YouTube, make sure you give us a like. Hit that like button. It really, really helps the algorithm. Helps people see the show. Helps grow the show. You know, make sure you subscribe. It costs you nothing. If you hit that notification bell, well, you'll never miss when we upload a video. Joining us today, producer Jen. Hello.
She's back.
She is back. Yes. Jeff is not on the show today. Jeff wasn't feeling well. So producer Jen was gracious enough to step in today in his place. Yeah, I mean, where's the mustache?
I tried to grow one. It won't happen for me. So sorry, Jeff. I'll work on my facial hair for the next time I fill in for you.
Also joining us today, friend of the podcast, friend of the Geeks Company. I'm sure you've seen her on Instagram and on the show. Jane Hustle, living the dream cosplay. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. I'm super happy to be back with you guys.
Hey, we've got another person with us over here somewhere. There we go.
A new friend.
That's right. A new face on the podcast. Chris Mayer, CEO Mybel. How do you pronounce? Man, I'm having problems pronouncing your name.
Maybell Consulting. It's all good.
Maybell Consulting. Chris is is it fair to say the organizer, the showrunner, the Grand Poopa of GameCon Canada.
Yes. Yeah. Pick a hat. I wear them all.
We've lost Jane for some weird reason. And here she is. There we go. Not sure what happened there.
But, me out. I don't know what happened, but
welcome back. Welcome back. Where do we even get started? I mean, there's so much I want to cover tonight. Actually, we've put a whole list of questions that we've shared with these guys just because there's so much stuff happening and there's so much stuff going on at this show. First of all, what is GameCon and how was it conceived? Like, how did you come up with the idea of putting on the show?
Well, this show for us was my partner. My business partner, Mark Belisle, he couldn't be here tonight, VP for Maybell Consulting. This thing started back during COVID. We actually have a video game indie dev company we want to launch, a little passion project that we want to put into play in a few years. And we literally spend every Monday morning talking about what board games did you play this weekend? What video games did you play this weekend? And that's like what consumes our Monday mornings because we're passionate about that. And it's something that we do for fun. And then we're just sitting there going like, hey, are we going to Seattle this year? Are we going to be going to San Francisco? Like which cons are we going to? And it really quickly dawned on us that why is nobody doing this in Canada? And it's specifically Western Canada. Why aren't we doing this? And we have a few contacts in the industry and we are showrunners and we do large scale events across Western Canada. And because it's such a passion, we're like, hey, like let's start putting this together. So this thing started during COVID and we have been tirelessly putting this thing together for the last 2 years. And here we are like 6 months away from the show and we're about to hit our press release at the 31st of this month. And so we can officially start talking about it.
So that's key. So nothing's been released yet.
You guys are the first we've publicly talked. Like this is it. This is like a sneak peek.
I'm so excited.
Guys, we're getting the exclusive. Okay, so for all you guys watching, you're finding out about this before anybody else. I know we've been throwing little things here and there, but you're the first to hear about all of this. So what's the elevator picture? What's GameCon?
Oh, geez. GameCon is going to be 250,000 square feet of expo floor space featuring mega stage, celebrities, cosplay, video game publishers and studios, board game publishers and studios. We've got amazing cosplay competitions happening, really fun activations. It is going to be everything and anything to do with gaming live on the floor, and just going all out.
Did you want to take a second and talk about your sponsors quickly? Because I know you guys obviously have the title sponsor that everybody saw on the logo. Tell us. Well, maybe the people listening don't know. Or can you? Oh, am I not supposed to?
We can
spill those beans.
we can talk sponsors. We got lots of sponsors. So this show is GameCon Canada, powered by TELUS. Okay, they've actually picked up the show for the next 3 years, which we're super excited about. They've been amazing partners through this whole thing, and to have them on board and to help us with pushing this once the press release goes out, and with some fun. I can't tell you what they're doing. They got some crazy stuff that they're going to be doing on the floor at their booth that involves gaming. So that's as much as I can tell you. But yeah, so they came on board, and the other cool thing, it's in the name, powered by TELUS. These guys are going to be providing high-speed internet to all the vendors and help to reduce the costs so that we can make this convention a reality in Canada. Big sponsor that's on board is Child's Play. They're actually from the United States, but they have an objective that we absolutely love, and we decided to take them on as partners because a big part of this event is charity. And we are going to try to outfit over 140 child welfare facilities in Alberta with game consoles, games, gaming equipment, TVs. We're going to be sending out wish lists to all those facilities here in the next month or so. And that's one of the things that we're trying to achieve in year one. Meet to Match, we've got those guys. That's for B2B stuff. Chic Geek Femme Gaming, another great message. So they've come on, and that's to highlight females in the gaming space and to shine a positive spotlight on them and to help with that gender diversity message. So another good one. We got Lynn Vander Studios on from the East Coast. They're a big board game company out there, crushing it. They're coming on as our board game sponsor. We've got a bunch of the dev societies. We got Game Camp Edmonton, Calgary Game Developer Association, Alberta Makes Games, SAS Dev. There's just a whole bunch. Rogers Media, another big one that we've got on board. And then one of the ones that just signed up, this is a big one. I'm going to this is probably one of the big ones for the gaming companies. For anyone who's listening, Games Workshop, Warhammer, they are coming to our show. It is so big. In fact, it is the first time the global events team from Games Workshop, Warhammer, have done an event in Canada. And not only are they coming with us year one, they're coming with 9,000 square feet of expo floor space, which includes a 2,500 square foot paint intake, a learn to play Warhammer. They've got a 4,000 square foot laser tag arena with all the gear fashioned after 40K. And the list goes on and on and on. So it's just it's crazy. And there's a 12-foot Marine that's going to greet everybody when they come through the doors. It's next level.
I mean, it sounds like it's going to be worth it.
I was sold.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be worth it to go to the show just for that. I mean, that's amazing.
I can't believe that they've never been in Canada before, because I think we were talking about Fan Expo, because Fan Expo would have some of these gaming companies, and we're talking about the gap in the market for gaming stuff. And I can't believe that Warhammer never been to Canada.
Yeah, this is their first time for the global events team being here. So yeah, we're honored. We're honored for that.
Guys, I gotta cut in quickly here. There's a bunch of comments that are coming through.
We can't see the comments. It's all you guys.
I know. I'm the only one, I guess, that can see them.
I can see them on the top right. I can see them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Canadian Comic Cutie saying she's gonna have, can't wait to make a fun cosplay to wear. I mean, she's the queen
Cutie,
of coming up with cosplays every day. Well, I'm sure she's going to be
coming.
going. She's local. Kelsey Cosplay, video games are my primary cosplay genre. It's so exciting to have a gaming con. I mean, for me, I think that's one of the big things is, and I think me and you, Chris, had that chat the first time we spoke. There really is no gaming convention in Canada anymore, right? There was Fan Expo that is supposed to be a fandom convention regardless of what you do, so there's a gaming component, but there was never a pure gaming convention in Canada, and I think we've been missing that. That's an area that's been missing. Noah's blowing up here. He's losing his mind. Jamie's saying huge. Yeah, I mean it's okay, guys. Okay, the comments are getting a little personal now. I'm not going to show the rest here, but
okay, so the most important is, when is this happening? Where is it happening?
Yes.
When is it happening? Let's get down. Let's tell people where to go.
Okay, so this is happening in Calgary, Alberta, at the BMO Center. We've got the entire place rented out. It's happening June 23rd, 24th, and 25th of 2023. That is when it's happening. That's when it's going down. And you know, it's coming up fast. I mean, the countdown. It felt like this was a year ago that we had a year to go, and now we're 6 months away. So it's been intense. It's been very, very intense.
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, first thing you know, you'll be right at the doorstep. I mean, you'll be getting ready to accept the trucks in the loading dock, you know?
Don't say that. It's going to stress them out.
Everything's going to be perfect.
Oh, I'm sure it will. So who can attend this? I mean, obviously there's people locally, but I mean, how do they go about, I mean, buying tickets? I mean, you guys have any packages for people that are coming from, you know, outside of the province or maybe even outside the country? Like, tell us a little bit about that side. Like, how are people going to get there?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess first of all, you know, this is definitely a national event because we have vendors coming, and I'm sure we're going to get to this talking about some of those vendors in a little bit, coming from all over the world. But to get to the show, obviously, if you're local and you know where we're coming from, we are going to be having amazing hotel deals. We've been working with the DMF, and we've got some hotel sponsors on board. They're going to be giving discounted hotels for people who are buying tickets. We're right in the middle of working out which airline is going to be giving out, you know, discounted flights for people who are coming to the show. So I mean, that's going to be the way, right? Right now, we're pushing really, really heavy because I know you guys are out east, and we're pushing heavy on the West Coast. We are actually going to have a digital version of this expo. So please, if anyone is considering coming to this event, come. You know, but for those of you that can't make the trip, we are going to have a digital component where you can buy a really inexpensive ticket and kind of get like the virtual of what's going on, all the vendors that are there. You'll be able to engage with them, check out all their stuff. And that's what we're doing for the people that can't make the trip.
I want to explore that a little bit, if that's okay, because that's one thing I'm realizing now that we had talked about, but we never included in our questions. How's that going to work, right? Like, what does that mean, having a digital event? Like, people are going to buy a ticket, and then they're actually going to be able to view. Is it going to be like a 3D VR? Like, what's the virtual event going to be?
Well, I think we'll probably save the virtual reality for year 2. For the first year, it's going to be like a forward-facing kind of bird's eye view down of the booths, the vendors that are there. They'll be able to alphabetically find them, or by, you know, looking through the booths. And when they click on a booth, it's opening up, and it'll have like all the videos, the games that are being demoed and featured at GameCon Canada. You'll be able to see that. You'll be able to click on the links, check out their videos. We got some unique opportunities there for people to do some purchasing on the retail side with these gaming companies. They're going to be giving out some exclusive deals that you'll be able to get a hold of, essentially, even if you can't make it, by tuning in. And I think one of the coolest features is that you'll actually be able to engage. So if you're joining in digitally and you have a question and you want to speak with one of the show runners that are on floor, and they have time to speak to you, they'll jump on and ask questions if you got questions about their game or what's going on. Yeah, because there's going to be so many brand new games here, like especially on the board game side. You know, there's so many amazing games, and people are going to have questions, and we've got game launches happening and just all sorts of really fun things happening. So it'll just be a way to kind of be like, hey, I can't make it, I still want to check it out. And then hopefully next year, everyone just kind of makes it and gets down here.
So people will be able to get this virtual pass and be able to watch some of these competitions?
Yeah, so I guess the one thing on the virtual pass is everything that we stream, they'll get access to it, but it won't be live. If you want to get the live portion, you need to be there. But so, for example, the cosplay competition the whole thing will be recorded, and you'll be able to catch it a couple hours later.
Did you hear that? So everybody who's in Ontario or in the East Coast, if you are a cosplayer and you are supporting these cosplayers who are in the competition, you can get your virtual pass and watch them online and show your support.
That's awesome.
By attending virtually. That is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Because the cosplay community is it's everywhere. It's not even across the
100%.
country. It's global. And
Yeah.
and that there's anyone who supports other people, it's cosplayers. They love each other.
Are you gonna have panels or talks and stuff like that on the stage as well that you're gonna be streaming?
Yeah, so we're still negotiating that stuff. I think we are going to have some panels. We actually have a room, panel room that we're going to be having some panels that are going to be dedicated specifically for the video game space, some for the board game, some for the cosplay. And the mega stage we might have, we got a few potential big things that could happen on the mega stage, which will be something else, whoever that ends up
But the
being.
idea is all those things will be streamed as well, is what you're saying.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh, that's-
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, that's unheard of.
So there you go. So that is unheard of. I mean, even when you what was the is it Fandom, DC Fandom, that tried to do a virtual con one year, and all it was a giant commercial, right? There was no actual interaction. You didn't see any real panels. That's amazing. I don't think anybody's ever actually done that yet.
It's about accessibility too. Some people aren't able to make the trip, or are overseas or have commitments. So this is an opportunity for our vendors to engage with everyone, for the community at large, the cosplayers to be able to virtually be there and support and cheer on our friends who are going to be here. So.
Cutie's also now losing her mind. Okay, shut up. That is amazing. Yes, it is. And
I
then
haven't
she's
told
saying,
her everything yet.
yes, I won't stop yelling. I'm that excited. No, I mean that's huge. Listen, I mean, there's no denying how big that is, especially that size of a show. So tell us a little bit about the other features. So you talked about the Warhammer stuff a little bit. Maybe we should start there. Tell us a little bit more. Do you have any more details about Warhammer, what they're going to be doing? Are they bringing any guests?
You see, that's where I'm going to have to stop. They got a lot of stuff that they're doing.
Are you going to plead the fifth now?
Yeah. I don't want to get in trouble. One of the things, so nobody quote me out there. One of the things that they are doing, which I thought was really cool, and I'll give you a little bit. I can't give you all of it, but they've got their paint and take. So they got some pro celebrity painters that are going to come down, because obviously that's miniatures and being a hobbyist. And I think they're talking about anyone that wants to come up and sit and learn to paint with them is going to get a free miniature just by walking up, which is insane, because I mean those miniatures are expensive and they're just going to be handing them out. So
they're expensive, and the thing about the miniatures is that not everybody that's into miniatures are necessarily into Warhammer. Like, you see people that are into Warhammer miniatures big time. They don't play. They don't read any of the books. They don't. That's they're just into the miniatures. That's a whole industry in itself. That's massive.
Absolutely. And I actually just got into it last year on with my son, and it's crazy. And I get it. It's hard. I want to throw all my miniatures away right now. They look awful. They look like a 10-year-old. I've been told to keep them.
Going to be the first one in line for that pro painter.
So and another thing that these guys are doing, which I think is really cool, they're bringing the World Forge store. So that is also a big deal for anybody in the Warhammer community that knows that there's only a handful of these things, and this one is the traveling version, and it comes with all sorts of goodies and things that you can't get anywhere else except from them. So for the true hardcore diehard Warhammer fans, they're gonna have stuff there for them that where this just hasn't happened, right? So
because I believe they also have, they have an online store, but there's stuff that you can't get on their online store. There's stuff that you can only get at one of their pop-ups or their main store. If I know,
that's the way I understand. That's the way I understand it.
If I'm correct, but yeah, I believe that's how it goes. So yeah, that's going to be a great opportunity.
Chris, you got to talk about my favorite part of Warhammer coming is this laser tag.
Oh my God! Yeah, the 4,000 square foot laser tag arena, where all the laser gear is fashioned after 40K, is going to be insane. And I think the coolest thing, in the board game area and with the laser tag, we actually have an area of the con that's going to be open before the con opens, and it's going to be open until midnight. And they're going to be running tournaments from morning till night. It's going to be and that's so after, so even
really?
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be the wildest thing ever. When people see this, it's going to be nuts.
So is that going to be in a different area of the con?
No. So in the BMO Center, you've got the 5 halls, and then out in front, there's a room called the Palomino Room. Well, we've basically turned that entire thing into the laser tag arena, and then that'll be open because it's separate from the other halls. And one of those halls, we have a giant wall that'll close, and then all the tables, when the con is done, will open up, and these board game companies and we're also going to have video games there. We're going to have a video game cafe. People can kind of come and hang out, and they're going to be recruiting people during the con to come and play tournament with them in the evening. So, you know, you can be walking around during the day having fun, and then in the afternoon and the evening, when you're done with the con, you're coming back and you're hanging out with these guys and playing, you know, having Warhammer tournaments. It's going to be insane.
That's ridiculous.
Space.
That's ridiculous.
You could cosplay and play laser tag.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
You could cosplay as a predator.
Oh my God.
Play laser tag.
No, I don't know
Next
about that.
level.
My
Next
mind is
level.
blown.
I don't know about that, but I can imagine guys or gals, you know, in
How is
full
Jeff
blown
not
Warhammer
doing
armors, laser tagging.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
That would
It's gonna-
be insane.
I wonder if they'd make me a shoulder cannon, because I mean that might be a different story if they can get me a shoulder cannon. You know.
I got a feeling these guys can do anything.
Film this is, I mean, that might be one of the funniest things. Even if I could just sit on the sidelines and watch a bunch of people in costume playing laser tag, that in itself, I need a virtual pass now. Please tell me
Yeah.
the virtual pass is over that arena, because that might save my life.
Such a great idea. And you know what? I'm going to bring that to the table, because I don't think we were talking
need
about
to.
that being.
I
Yeah.
need to see Spider-Man taking out some predators.
You want to watch laser
in my
tag.
life.
I mean, I could. Yeah, I would be into that.
Yeah. In
You know.
Warhammer 40K gear. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds incredible. That's a great event.
I don't want to get to the cosplay stuff just yet. There is going to be cosplay, obviously. There is a cosplay competition. We spilled those beans a little bit earlier. What's the mega stage, first of all?
oh, mega stage.
I mean, I've got a. Okay, hang on. How do I? I'm going to show you guys what the mega stage is, and then maybe you can tell me exactly what that all means.
Absolutely.
Let's go here and boom.
We're still learning the system.
Yes, there you
There it
go.
is. Look at that.
The mega
That's it.
stage.
So Beam of Visuals, those are the guys that are doing it. It's a local Calgary company that we're very proud to be working with. And what you're seeing right now, you guys, this is a 118-foot long, 24-foot tall, 4K LED wall. This is going to be in Hall F, and this is what's going to be containing the cosplay competition and fashion show that we're doing with the kids on Sunday. This is going to be esports tournaments. This is going to be RPG activations. This is going to be celebrity appearances, possibly one big panel that'll happen on this thing. And then also we've got a bunch of companies looking to us right now, some of the larger companies going, can we use this thing to do a commercial on an upcoming game that we have to like launch it here? And all I'm going to tell you guys, we've got one company right now. They're not even signed up right now, which is why I can't say anything, but they've already approached us and they're working with a Hollywood studio. They happen to be launching a game that is connected to a very big Hollywood movie that happens just to be launching right around the time of our show. And they said, would we be able to do the announcement on this stage? And we're like, of course you can. Absolutely. That's what this show is about. I mean, for us to get something like that, year one would be amazing. But it's also going to be used to highlight some of the indie devs and some of the fun things that we're doing. So yeah, this is it. That's going to be a spectacle.
You realize, Chris, you're talking to a bunch of nerds right now, right?
Absolutely.
Now everybody's going to go digging, trying to figure out, you know, what
Everyone go to Google
gaming
right
property
now.
has a movie coming out in June or around June to figure out
We
what's
didn't
going
spill the
on
whole
here.
can of beans. Just a couple
I
of
mean,
beans.
you know, funny enough. So, was it Jamie saying this? I can't see that comments. There you go. Spill one or two beads, not the whole can.
I want the whole can. I want the whole can. But this is exciting, Chris, because this is like big announcements happening at a con in Canada. Typically, a lot of these big announcements are happening in the States, and a lot of local people up here, we just can't be a part of that. We watch the articles later on, we watch the videos, we watch YouTube later on. This is now happening in our hometown. We can now be a part. Well, I mean, we can be a part of it in the States, but this makes it more accessible for Canadians to now be a part of something, to be a part of a big announcement and feel, you know, part of that event. So that's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we're really talking about the fans right now. I'll shift my focus over to the people that are coming to the show, the vendors. We've got so many indie, like amazing game developers that are here from Canada that this is big for them. This is an opportunity for them, and for us, like that's another thing that we're trying to provide here, and to grow this game, like whether it's video games or board games, grow that industry within our province and within our country, and give now they don't have to go to San Francisco. I mean, they're going to keep going to those places. They should. I mean, that's absolutely, but now something they can do on their home turf, and that's a big part of what this is about. So yeah, we're just absolutely thrilled that that everyone is kind of getting as excited as we are, and that we've managed to secure some large companies in a year one con to help make this thing a reality. So.
And I like that because you talk about kind of growing the hometown talent, and we talked about accessibility, and there are going to be families and kids who go to these shows that maybe aren't a huge gamer or have seen a little bit and see people who create this content, who are a part of this community, and realize that this could be a career and it becomes a big thing. And the Canadian production companies, in the West Coast and in Toronto, we have a lot of the technology. We have a lot of the colleges and universities that offer these courses where people can become game developers and stuff. I know in Toronto and Montreal, there's some great post-secondary programs that support that. So I like that you're bringing this convention to Canada to also kind of inspire that new generation to get out there and maybe not necessarily just play being the end user, but get more involved in the community and be a part of creating the community. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and actually, I can add to that because there's so much to cover and go over. But we actually are partnered with the Lethbridge College and University of Calgary on this as well, and they're going to be coming with exact activation that you're talking about. They're going to be bringing their programs, like the Lethbridge College is bringing their VR department to the show, like their motion capture.
Nice.
They've got an insane thing that is going to be fully like people can just interact with it, have fun. And it, for the parents that are listening or the kids that are like in high school already starting to think about these things, it's like, this is a career, this is an education, and it's right here in your backyard. And yeah, that's a big part of this too.
You don't have to go to the States to get this education. It's here.
Yeah. And it feels like that, right?
Especially
in high school, it feels out of reach. As a high school student, and I'm going through this right now with my son in going into grade 9, and they're already telling you, already start thinking about grade 12 and what you're going to do what do you want to do with your life? And he's 13. So I feel like it's starting younger and younger now. So, and I think for that 13-year-old or 14-year-old going to these conventions where they're announcing big things or being a part of a production company is so out of reach. It must feel out of reach, right? It's, San Francisco is so far away for them.
That's right. Yeah, totally.
But it's not, because they don't need to go to San Francisco, right?
Nope.
Like, there are a number of fantastic programs right here in Canada. I mean, yeah. I want to talk about the esports. You mentioned esports earlier. Are you gonna have like a competition of some sort, or they're gonna be specific? Or
we can talk about
those beans. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can spill those beans. So yeah, with the esports competition side of things, we are the mega stage. Obviously, we saw it. It's large. It's like next level, and that's what's going to be hosting our esports. And we're going to actually have. We're thinking we're about doing 3 tournaments. So don't quote me on the tournaments we're talking about right now. But we are talking about doing like a Street Fighter 6 on there, a Smash Bros. And then we were talking about a Rocket League, but maybe possibly the Rainbow Six. We're negotiating. We have to make sure we get license approval for some of this stuff. So that is some of the stuff that we're looking at, and it's we've got a company that's going to be handling that for us and taking that over. And yeah, it's just something that we're going to put some time and effort in, because I think esports is growing so rapidly in the United States and everywhere else in the world. And Canada's trying, and we're trying to make a bit of an impact for that, because it's cool. It's cool to see. It's fun. I think all the college universities, they've all got esports teams officially. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like one of those things where how could we not do an esports portion to the show, right?
Yeah,
you almost can't. I mean, if you're doing Game Con, you kind of have to have an esports component. I mean, it's so big now. It's
100%. I'll name the company too, because we're actually working with our neighbors in Vancouver there. It's TGS Esports. They are one of the best and biggest esports runners in Vancouver, and they're coming all the way up here to Alberta to help us with this and help make sure that it's done at a super professional level. They're coming with like a double wide semi trailer that unfolds with all these games and screens that pop out, and people can just go and play and have fun. So there's going to be a lot of really neat things here. But TGS Esports.
I believe they're the ones that were at Fan Expo.
Yeah, I think they had a smaller activation there at Fan Expo that last
they
year.
had a big giant stage. With,
did they? I think I missed that one.
Yeah. They showed up with, again, a big tractor trailer, and they had a whole crew in the back. It was a big production. Yeah.
They're
sure it was
these
them.
guys
I'm
are
looking at
pros.
the logo, and I think it was them.
Yeah, they're pros. They definitely had something to do there. I know that for sure. So yeah, it was definitely them.
Yeah, well, is excellent. Listen, I do want to talk about the cosplay a little bit. James hasn't had a chance to really talk at all. Let's get you in the conversation a little bit.
It's Chris's domain. I am happy that he is handling that.
Well, we do want to find out why Jane Hustle, Living the Dream Cosplay, is on the podcast tonight. You are involved with GameCon Canada. Actually, why don't you tell us first of all what your official title of GameCon Canada is?
Sure. So I'm involved with GameCon Canada as one of the cosplay competition directors. So myself and Maker Fishmeal, as they're known on online, are co-directors of the cosplay competition for year one of GameCon Canada.
So tell us about the cosplay competition. What can we expect? What can we see? What's going on? And then maybe I'm gonna have you announce who the guest judges are.
Sure, yeah. So I guess our initial thoughts of this competition was we really wanted to have a cosplay competition that was really focused, because both Maker Fishmeal and I are cosplayers, and they're a competitive cosplayer. I've done competitions and won competitions before. So we really wanted to make this a from our view as cosplayers, a really rad competition, something we would be excited to compete in if we weren't directing it. So our first and foremost kind of thing for that was finding really amazing judges, other makers, other people in the community that we really were impressed and looked up to as makers. So one of our first, all three of our judges are all Canadian talent. So we wanted to keep it in-house this year, feature some of our amazing local cosplayers and makers. So our first, one of our first was Kompatsu Cosplay out of Toronto. Taylor, she's incredible. I'm sure you've seen her stuff online. Incredible maker, fabric foam. She does it all. Amazing wig stylist. We've got Gladsy Kai, who is a Calgary local. Yay! She's been featured in several publications and installations here in town. Incredible designer and maker, as well as a digital artist. So she is a woman of many talents. And then we have Axel Cosplay out of Quebec, Dorian, who's originally from France, but now calls Canada home for the last 6 years. And again, an amazing up-and-coming maker, really talented, and one of just the sweetest human beings I think I've ever met. So yeah, we're really excited to have all three of them joining us for GameCon, and they're going to be our judging panel for the competition.
Now, how does somebody get into the competition? How do you compete in this? Do you have to register? Do you have to sign up? Are there specific rules? I think there's categories, right?
There are categories. So we have 3 categories in our competition. So there's novice, journeyman, and masters. So our novice category is kind of where you would start if this is one of your first competitions. It's for people who are cosplayers or makers who have never won any major awards, and we ask that they've made 75% of their cosplay. Journeyman is our next level up. So this is a maker who's won 1 or 2 major awards. Again, 75% of their costume needs to be made by them. And then we have our master class, or our master level cosplayer. So this is a maker cosplayer who's won 2 or more major awards. So that includes a best in show, those kind of categories. And their primary income would be from cosplayer costuming. So we're talking about, those cosplay celebrities that I'm sure we're all familiar with. This would be their category to compete if they chose to do so. And we ask that 85% of their costume be made by them. So in order to apply to the competition, you'd head over to gameconcanada.com and you would submit some reference photos, your social media and your name, short description of what's going into your build. If you've had it completed, kind of some details about what you put into it. And we actually are just sending out our first round of approvals of submissions this week.
Sorry, so approval of submissions, what does that mean? Sorry.
Yeah, so when you submit to, you apply to be in the competition.
Right.
I've thrown my name in the hat I'm in.
Right.
That way we can kind of, we can handpick our competitors and make sure everyone's registering for the right level, for their skill set, for their history. It's just kind of a good way for Maker and I to make sure our competition runs smoothly. Right.
Q's asking, you need a build book?
You do not need a build book because we are 6 months out. We understand that a lot of people, and this is a year 1 con, don't have a finished cosplay at this point yet. We will be asking for build books closer to the competition date. You will need to submit an ebook, and then you're welcome to bring a physical book for the judges on the day of the competition as well. But you do not need a build book to submit an application.
Excellent. Prizes? I think you'd mentioned there were some different prize packages.
This is the
people
good
are
stuff.
very interested in the prizes. Prizes worth traveling for.
Yes.
So I guess I would say the second thing that we wanted in this competition, the first was really amazing judges that were really inspiring to us. And the second, and the GameCon Canada showrunners, Chris, and have been really supportive of this. We wanted prizes worth traveling for. As cosplayers, we know how expensive this hobby is. We know how much these big builds cost. And we really wanted to draw competitive cosplayers and make this worth the trip. We wanted to come out and show them that we appreciate their art, that we wanted to really give them something to talk about. We wanted to stir up kind of the news in the cosplay world of what we're offering for them to travel. So our best in show, which can be from any 3 of our categories. If you're a novice and you come in, you're welcome to win best in show. If you are the best cosplay of the day, that's a prize that's open to you, is $2,000 in cash.
Wait, for the novice?
For any category. This is the best in show. So you can win best in show from any one of our 3 categories. So you don't necessarily have to be a master level builder to win best in show.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, right.
So best in show is $2,000 plus 2 complimentary tickets to our 2024 show.
Yeah.
With hotel accommodations included.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
We also have a best video game cosplay and best tabletop game cosplay. So these were 2 categories that are unique to GameCon that I haven't seen at other competitions. Again, this is open to any one of our 3 categories. So novice, journeyman, or master could win this this particular prize, and they're each $1,400 in cash.
Oh, okay.
So again, you're welcome. I'm a big movie buff, and so most of my cosplays are from movies. And you're welcome to submit a movie-based cosplay to this competition. It does not need to be a gaming or tabletop cosplay. However, that does preclude you from winning this extra category.
Yeah, you can't win in a gaming category if you're going as a, Predator, I guess, right? Like, or a Spider-Man, or.
I'm gonna throw something in here because I'm having a hard time trying to find Let's Go Predator. there is a game that me and my friends are playing now where you play as Predator and the attack squad. Like, so it actually does. That would actually play as a bit because it ties in. There's video games about Predator.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it would be hard today to find a property that's not covered in a video game somehow, right?
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm curious if someone can throw something out there.
Yeah, we said Spider-Man, but Spider-Man has multiple video games.
That's right.
You know, even Batman, for crying out loud, has some of the most popular video games in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay. So that's good info. Food for thought. And Cutie was just asking if you had to be gaming cosplay, and no, it doesn't have to be gaming cosplay.
Yeah, no.
It can be anything really.
So those two additional categories can be won in tandem with your novice, journeyman, and master's prizes. So winning best novice does not preclude you from also winning best tabletop.
Right.
So this could be $1,400 on top of your other prize money.
Right. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah. So that could be a good payday for somebody. Get your noggins together, folks. Get some cosplays going.
I think you and Rob need to start packing your bags.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good show.
Home a prize.
This is gonna be a good show.
Did you want me to chat about the other categories and the prizes?
Yes.
I could talk.
Yes, keep going. Yes.
Okay. So our best masters category, first place, and in our masters category would be $1,500 and 2 complimentary all access weekend passes to GameCon in 2024 again. Second and third place in our masters would both be $750 cash. Best journeyman is $1,000 cash and 2 all access weekend passes. Our second and third place are $250 for journeyman. Then our best novice, and this is a great prize money for a novice category as far as I'm concerned, because I would personally be competing in novice and would be super stoked for this amount. So it's $500 plus two for our novice, yeah. So and plus 2 all access passes again to GameCon 2024. Second and third place in our novice are $200.
Those are amazing prizes.
Yeah, what's the total prize pool? That's huge.
Yeah, our total prize pool is $15,000, so it's $10,000 in cash, and then there's gonna be more actually. Like we're getting some prizes together. This is the beginning. We're gonna get some actual prizing together, so it's not just cash. There's gonna be some prizing too, and we have a lot of very interested sponsors coming on board. I wish we could fast forward 2 weeks because I would have a whole bunch of new sponsors that I'm not allowed to talk about right now that are gonna blow people's minds that want to throw into stuff like this to help give back to that community and make sure that they're being recognized for taking the time and having fun and putting the effort in.
So for everybody who's watching, all the cosplayers who are watching, you need to now go to our YouTube channel, share this podcast with as many cosplayer friends as you can, and get the info out there. So especially for your cosplayer friends who are living in the West Coast, they need to go and check this out. And they need to tell their friends. And they need to tell 2 friends. And they need to tell 2 friends.
And for all of my American friends watching, your dollar goes further here, so there is no excuse
that's another good point.
To this.
Yeah.
What was it today? 40 cents on the dollar or something? Like
yeah.
It will cost you less to come to our-con than one in the States.
Yeah, probably.
Could you imagine we're the cooler con?
It's one of the things it's one of the things that our vendors that are coming from the UK and the United States are loving right now. They're like, how much is it costing? Oh, but once I convert that to Canadian, that's nothing.
And then when you win the money, you get to come back you get free tickets for next year. So you can just keep winning and
win.
Winning and coming back.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've got a kids show as well.
We do, yeah. So our cosplay competition is going to take place on Saturday, and then we have a kids fashion show, party stage show that we're going to be hosting. Pardon me?
On the mega stage?
Absolutely.
On the mega stage on Sunday. So our little cosplayers will have a chance to walk the mega stage and have their cosplays shown off. We're going to have some really cool participation prizes for them as well. So we want to include cosplayers of all ages in the GameCon experience.
That's one that's going to be worth the watch for sure.
Should we mention or talk about the high school stuff, or should we keep that under wraps?
Absolutely, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
So Chris and I have a meeting next week, and we're looking to partner with the high schools in Calgary who have a fashion studies or cosplay specific program. So think back to our high school home ec program, where you learn to sew pillowcases. Now they have way cooler programs that are actually focused on cosplay. I was so bummed that they didn't have this when I was in high school, because I would have been all over that. But there are some really amazing teachers who we're going to be speaking with and talking about an activation to do some high school students. We're going to get them to put together a collection from their school. So from all levels of their fashion studies program. They're then going to display their pieces at GameCon. And we're going to have some judges who are alumni from the programs, grade or award the winning collection. But I'll let Chris talk about what we're going to be doing for all of the students in all of those high schools if we get this off the ground.
And does everybody know about this yet? Or again, is this one of the things where even the students, I'm assuming, don't know about this?
Students don't know about this yet.
So nobody knows about this yet.
So Chris, I mean, spill the beans, bud. Spill away.
Well, so, I mean, besides the winning school is going to get some money donated to their program, all of the students in the fashion studies and cosplay 10, 20, 30 classes, we're going to make sure that they're all getting all access tickets to be at GameCon Canada, to support the school, to support the industry, to have fun with their friends. And it's something that we're going to do to try to help build this here in Alberta.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Every student.
All the students. Every student in their program, we're going to make sure that they're all getting access to come to the show for free, like just to be there.
And I hope all these students are participating in the cosplay competition. I mean, if they don't, that's silly. Guys, if you're one of those students and you're thinking of going to the show, hey, you've already designed a costume. Wear it. Yeah, wear your costume. Get in the cosplay competition. Put a build book together. Learn to put build books together. I hate putting build books together. That's why I don't compete in cosplay competitions. But do it, because you can win some serious cash with these guys. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was a really awesome activation that I'm really hoping we can get together for them, because again, it's about giving back to our next generation of cosplayers. It's about including them and making sure that they know that, you know, there's a space for them here. And we all started somewhere. I didn't start cosplaying until I was in my 30s. So I mean, like 5 minutes ago. But you know, I'm really excited to you know, include the talents of the kids coming up in the cosplay universe, and excited to see what they bring.
What are the judges going to be looking for during the cosplay competition? I want to go back to that quickly because we didn't really talk about that. There's a bunch of different classes. Are there specific things that people should be thinking about when they're getting ready for the show? Like, what are those things that judges are going to be like, oh, you know, they didn't have this, or, oh, they had that. Like, what are those little things that you would give us an advice to look after for people getting ready for this competition?
Oh my gosh, it varies so widely, because I remember the last competition I judged was here at Calgary Expo, and the variety of talents that people had, from needlework to embroidery to foam armor to metalwork to electronics. It was just absolutely insane. It was crazy, all these things that people incorporated into their costumes. I would say if you're starting out, you're doing novice category, focus on doing less things really well executed. So if you have LEDs and smoke and foam and fabric and none of it's really done well, I would say maybe pare back and, you know, really pay attention to the details. Make sure your seams are finished. make sure your edges are sanded and your seams are pretty on your EVA foam, things like that, basic stuff, cosmetic stuff. Once you start moving up in those categories, more is more. The more you can incorporate and do it well. If you have a really amazing garment, but you can add in some patina on your metal work, or you can add some LEDs into your foam armor or your props. If you can make something move, if you have wings and they're animatronic wings, the more disciplines you can showcase them at a high level, the better off you are. So again, I don't want to get too specific because I don't want anyone saying this is what she said to look for. Judging at some point is subjective to the judges on the day. And the best cosplay that day might not be the best cosplay at the next competition because it is subjective. But I would say with our panel of really experienced makers, they know what they're looking for. And they know what they're looking at. So I have all the faith in them that they will be looking at the details and really, they're very well educated to be judging this competition.
And I think that's important, right? For the cosplay competition, that it is run by cosplayers. It's being judged by cosplayers. There's nobody who knows those details better than you guys. I'm slowly learning. I can see the glaze in Chris's face.
This is why Robin's here.
Right? I mean, the attention to detail that cosplayers who are makers have is absolutely incredible. When JS was working on Doc Ock and we were getting ready to put pieces together, and he was so frustrated because he didn't bevel some of the edges. And that was it. That was the people are going to see and makers are going to see, and it doesn't look right. And I'm going, just, it's fine. It's painted. Put it on. What does it matter? But it does matter.
Well, it matters.
We're our own worst critics. Also, like, other cosplayers will blow up a cosplay and tell you how amazing you look, and you're like, oh, well, I want to pick this part of, like, I would redo this, or I would
not have seen it. I would not have picked up on that detail, and most people won't. But the important thing is at GameCon for the competition, you've got people judging you that get it and who see these details and appreciate it.
It's my one biggest tip to every single cosplayer walking into a judging panel. Don't tell them what you didn't finish or what you would do differently. If they don't see it, don't tell them.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. And just to go back on Jen's point a little bit, for me, when I'm making a cosplay, I did this analogy when we actually had this discussion. I compared it to an illusionist. We're building an illusion. We're not building a costume, right? We're building the illusion that this armor that I'm wearing is actual metal. Right. So little details like beveling your edges or, whatever it is, those are the details that sell the illusion versus, well, it looks like foam painted. Right. Those are sometimes the difference that it makes. Right. So for sure, if you're entering into cosplay competition.
Off the top of my head, the person who had put rust details on the rivets they had on the fabric on their cosplay, and just that level of detail. I was just absolutely blown away because
it sells as real, right? Yeah. It makes you feel like you're seeing something that's real.
Up
that
close,
those are the details where it goes from good to wow, and you can't stop staring.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Listen, I mean, we've already been on for almost an hour, and I do want to get to some more stuff. First of all, you guys are gonna have a bunch of vendors. I mean, I showed the floor plan quickly earlier. The floor plan is freaking ginormous. You're gonna have a lot of vendors there. Can you talk about some of the vendors, or are there any big companies that are gonna have displays, whether they're vendors or whether they're exhibitors or whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can name a few. I'm not sitting in front of the detailed list. I've got a handful that I can think of, like the most recent off the top of my head on the video game side. We have got Razer coming. They're going to be sponsoring the event. Red Nexus Games, Villain Games. We've got what else we got? Whitethorn Games, Fortress Games, Complex Games, Dragonfly Games, Vivid Helix. a whole bunch. Like I said, if we were 2 or 3 weeks in the future, I would have some much larger studios to talk about. But these guys are putting out the kind of games that we want people to discover and fall in love with, because they're putting out the stuff that Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation pick up and put on their consoles. And you're going to get to see what these guys are doing. On the tabletop side, obviously Warhammer, I'll say it again, Warhammer. I'm such a huge fan. But we got Catalyst and we got CGE, and we actually just signed those guys on the other day. Looks like they're going to be doing like some code name tournaments and having some fun stuff with what they're doing. We had a great conversation with the Monster Fight Club today. So I think I can, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but they're unreal. Creature Caster. These guys are good friends of ours that operate out of the East Side, and they're amazing. We got the Army Painter, Level Up Dice, Lynn Vander Studios, Almost Games. Like the lists are going to go on and on and on.
Wow.
And on. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be big.
It's
And
gonna be rammed in there.
And we've got some retail guys too coming in. Like, so one of our big sponsors actually that we just picked up the other day that we're super proud of because they're out of Calgary is the Calgary Costume Shop. And they're going to be there, and they're going to be putting together a booth to fix all the cosplayers' gear, and they're going to be there selling stuff for people who get there and realize I should have been in something, or I want to be in something, I want to be a part of this. All what's going on. So they'll be there selling
so they're
stuff.
actually going to have costumes that they're going to sell. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're going to have costumes live on. So yeah, if you forgot your costume and you want to pick one up and rock it with the rest of everybody else that's dressed up, you can. And then obviously Telus is going to be there. I'm like I said, not going to tell you what they're doing. You have to come and find that one out. I get in big trouble if I told you guys. But yeah, and there's going to be a lot of other retail vendors there as well. So, which is really cool.
So there's going to be a bunch of vendors. You're opening it up to having like the regular con type vendors that sell, pop vinyls and comic books and video games. And no, you're not. You're not going to have those guys there.
We're gonna have a few. We'll have a few, but we're not. But what we don't want this to turn into is like a flea market of stuff, right? Like I'll give you an example. On the board game side of things, we are doing this amazing promotion. We're about to roll it out, and it is basically going to involve. It's a free promotion for all the board game and comic book and hobby stores in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, where they're going to get these awesome posters. And what we've actually managed to do is we've managed to get all of these sponsors that we have and a whole bunch that aren't sponsors. A lot of those guys I actually listed off are putting in prizes for this. So now imagine if you're, a store in Calgary and you sell board games and hobby supplies. We're going to show up at your door. You're going to get a massive movie-sized poster, a couple small ones of digital. It's going to have a QR code attached to it. And basically that QR code is attached to each store. And these store owners are going to be promoting GameCon Canada and getting people to scan the code just to find out information about the show. Now, when that store hits a certain level of scans, Warhammer might send them a free gift. And then when you hit this many scans, this guy's going to send you a free gift. So it's a way to really support these brick and mortar stores, right? Because they're up against Amazon and online sales all the time, but also getting those guys, excited that's our audience. That's who we're going after.
Yeah.
And with the 5 stores, we're going to have 5 retail spaces for the board game and those guys. And 2 of them are sold already. The other 3 are a part of this competition. So not a competition, but this promotion. What we're going to do, whoever has the highest scans in each province, that store gets to come to GameCon Canada for free and be on the floor space with 1,000 square foot and sell their stuff.
This is exclusive.
Yes.
So it's not going to be 20 board game stores back to back down an aisle that you can buy something from at each store. It's going to be 5.
That's right. This show is about the actual board game companies and the publishers there showing their stuff off. And a lot of them probably will be selling and doing stuff at like amazing deals right from their booth. But that's the idea.
That's awesome.
Here.
Yeah. Are you still taking vendors at this point, or are you pretty much booked?
Oh no, we're still taking vendors for sure. We got a lot of space, and we got a lot of there's. I would say I would hope that by the time 8 more weeks, we're getting close to that sold out point. We've had quite a bit of space taken, but we have quite a bit of space to fill. And some of these guys that are coming on in the next couple of weeks, like when that gets announced, it'll probably fill up pretty quick, I'm assuming.
Well, so how does somebody become a vendor?
Well, if you want to, tickets go on sale on the 31st with the press release. And whether you want to be a vendor, a sponsor, all you have to do is go to GameCon Canada, go to our website, check it out. There'll be a sponsor tab there. If you want to become a vendor, you fill out the form, you submit it, we get back to you right away. Same if you're still interested in some a potential sponsorship opportunity. And then for tickets, obviously that's going to be a call to action right on the front landing page when you open the site on the 31st.
The thing I'm excited about is that this isn't going to be a giant retail, like obviously there's retail space, but this is more about the interactive experience. When you come, there's going to be so many activities for you to do other than shop. Don't get me wrong, your girl loves to shop, but there's going to be so many other things for cosplayers and attendees to do while you're at GameCon. That's what is really exciting. Is for me as a somebody just off the street going to GameCon, those are all the things I'm really nerding out about. I'm really excited
because gamers want to do stuff. Gamers want to touch stuff. Gamers want to play stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Yeah. I don't go to cons to spend my paycheck on buying junk. Like I go to cons to party and have fun and dress up and take pictures and and
play some games.
Play games and meet people. We don't call it cosplay for no reason, right? Like it's there's a reason it's called cosplay. There's a mention here, and I didn't write this down. What is the booth subsidy program? Is that an actual thing?
Goodness. Yeah. So that part of what we're doing here is, like I said, this is about those vendors. It's about growing this in our province and in Canada. So we came up with a booth subsidy program where what we're doing for any of the video game or board game vendors that want to come in and be at the show to show everybody what they're doing and what they're working on. We came up with a subsidy program. If they're under 100 employees, we're actually going to give them back 50 cents on the dollar a week after GameCon. And the only stipulation to that is going to be them coming in and being a part of the show, doing a social media post and helping us help them promote the fact that they're going to be there. And then, try to get these guys here. Like the big studios, they can afford to be here. It's no question. They don't even look at the price tag. But for some of the smaller independent guys that are putting out some of the best stuff, in my opinion, it's harder for them. So we're trying to make this as accessible for them as humanly possible, to show them that like this is not just about the B2C side. It's about the B2B. It's about just helping your business. And one of the things our company with Maybell Consulting that we've always prided ourselves on with all our cons that we run and all the events and expos we do is to be a resource to these guys, not just showrunners. We don't just want to sell space. We want to be a real resource to help grow their business and create something that's sustainable. And that's what we're doing.
So how does somebody get involved in that? Like if somebody wants or needs subsidy,
well,
is there like an application process or like how does that work?
Yeah, so when they apply, we'll immediately assess it, right? We'll know if they're under 100 employees. We'll give them a call. Are you interested in the subsidy program? I will tell you this: we have 35 of the 100. We only had 100. We had to self-fund this subsidy program. Maybe we'll find a sponsor out there one day that wants to help us with that. But we got 35 left out of the 100. So there's 35 still available. So especially if you're from the East Coast and you want to come, here's your opportunity, right? It's a lot easier for you to get down. Yeah.
You talked about some partners earlier. Meet to Match, Femme Gaming, Chick Geek, Grizzly Paw Brewery, Craft Soda.
I don't know if we mentioned Grizzly Paw, did we? I don't think I might have missed the Grizzly Paw Soda guys. Oops.
Was I not supposed to mention that?
Right now.
Are you guys familiar with Grizzly Paw Brewing out there?
We are not. No.
No? Okay. Let me quickly tell you.
Yes,
Grizzly Paw is one of Alberta's, in my opinion. I mean, there's so many good ones. I shouldn't say that. They're all amazing, but they're one of
say that.
They're one of the big original independent brewers in Alberta. They've got an amazing facility out in Canmore. They work with us on our Alberta Food and Beverage Expos, and we were talking to them, and they loved what we were doing. They loved the charity aspect, and we are not a licensed event. This is not going to be alcohol at this event. This is a family-friendly event. But they said, listen, we want to make an official GameCon Canada beer. And we're like, ooh,
really?
An official GameCon Canada beer. So we dug into this, and obviously because Mark and myself, we like our beer, and we're like, this is a great idea. So what's happening is we're going to be doing a lager. We figured, they've got the IPAs, they got everything, but we thought, lager is just nice and down the middle. And what we're going to do is it's a Willy Wonka style thing. So what they're doing is we're finding a partner right now. They're going to put out like 10,000 cases of this beer across Alberta. You'll find the golden can or the emerald can, and you'll win access passes to the show. You'll win Xboxes, PlayStations, Nintendos, meet and greets with celebrities. And we haven't really talked about other celebrities. Yes, we're going to be bringing some celebrities. We do not have them locked down yet. So it's going to be like really, really fun. But partial proceeds of this is going to also go to Child's Play. So partial for every case that's sold, they're going to donate a portion to our Child's Play charity. And then their craft soda, which is ridiculous, has got on board as well.
It's the tastiest soda on the planet.
That's
so good.
As far as I'm concerned.
So good.
Listen, I am not a beer drinker, and I would go out and buy cases of beer if there's a chance I can get a golden ticket, just like Charlie.
Yeah, just like Charlie. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then they did the same thing on the soda. So the soda is going to be the same thing, but it actually went a little bit bigger. So it looks as if it's going to be in Sobe Safeways across BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, and it's the same sort of deal, but on the soda side.
Hey, Grizzly Paw Brewery and Craft Soda, geeksaco@gmail.com. Get in touch.
I want a golden ticket.
So you touched kind of on the next point I wanted to address here, and I guess you kind of talked about it a little bit. You can't really talk about the guests, right? Because you don't really have anything nailed down.
I want to know who's going.
Well, the problem with guests is you never know until last minute, I suppose. All the cons have the same problem, right? It's
the ink's not dry.
Yeah, they're all going to line up in the last months to weeks. Really, is usually how it happens. But
there's pressure. There's pressure there. We want to confirm them and get them contractually binded so we can scream it from the rooftops. Because the 4 or 5 or so that we're talking to, we want to bring a couple of them in, and any one of them is going to be like next level, huge. So the second that happens, you guys are actually going to be the first to know. I'll be emailing you guys first.
We will scream. We will find a rooftop, and we will scream it.
We will.
One thing I want you to talk about, Chris, is when we talked to you before about the celebrities, I really loved your vision on what you wanted to do with the celebrity, or rather what you wanted the celebrities to do. Now, I know if you haven't signed the contract, that's still up for grabs. But what's your vision? If you had your perfect con and you had your perfect celebrities, what would that look like? What would they be doing at GameCon?
So the ones we were talking to and what we're already trying to throw in there, and this is why we're negotiating, is we want them to do and be a part of the crowd, be interactive, be doing activities at the event. So, maybe getting on stage and painting with one of Warhammer's celebrity painters and getting the crowd involved, maybe in the laser tag arena, who knows, but getting them doing something in every single one of the pavilions and moving around, because at the end of the day, for us, this show is about the vendors. It's about the game companies. Let's move them around. Let's get them involved with the board game. Let's get them involved with the video game. Let's get them involved with the retailers. Let's move them around and have them, so it's not necessarily as much meet and greet
curtain type situation.
Yeah, and it's more seeing them doing something with the vendors or with the crowd, right?
I can already see myself shooting a certain metal man in laser tag.
Laser tag, can you imagine?
That could be pretty funny.
I cannot even tell you how much money I would pay to see that happen. We need to make that happen.
I did skip something when we were talking about the partners there. Are there going to be any kind of meetups or panels, or like, you've got a lot of partners listed on the list here that we named, including Grizzly Paw. Again, I'll rename some of them just to make sure we know we've talked about them. Meet to Match, Fem Gaming, Chick Geek. Are they doing anything? Like, what are they going to be doing at the con? Are they going to be having any kind of events or?
Yeah, a lot of that's still being planned out, but like some of them are definitely doing something. So Fem Gaming, for example, they're bringing an amazing display, and they're going to be having some live streamers playing games and streaming live. They're going to bring some amazing female streaming talent on Twitch. So there's I think they're all coming with some kind of activation or some kind of, like, this is who we are, this is what we're doing, and this is why we're here.
We have some Twitch gaming partnerships who are going to be streaming in support of Child's Play.
Yeah. Well, in the video game world, let's be honest, the celebrities, they're the Twitch streamers, right? those are the people you want in the show, really, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's excellent. We've been on for quite a while now. We're gonna have to wrap this up quickly, but
it's been so exciting.
Yes. Just remind everybody, first of all, when, where, and how to get tickets.
So GameConCanada.com. All your information is there. You can check out our social media pages. June 23rd, 24th, 25th, Calgary, Alberta, at the BMO Center. It's going to be crazy. That's what's happening.
Is there any pricing announced yet?
Yeah, I can throw the pricing out at you guys. Actually,
Exclusive?
That literally was just the other day. Another exclusive. Wow. Here we go.
Tickets go on sale.
Tickets go on sale on the 31st, and for a one-day pass to the con, it's going to be $45. So that's the price to come to the con, and then we are going to have a all-access pass. I'm pretty sure that's being priced at $108. And what's awesome about our show, and what I liked about building this, was that we didn't price different on any different day. Like, it's $45 for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's not like we actually spread out the activities on each day. It's not like one day is more packed than the other with like celebrities or cool activities. They all have something amazing that's completely different on all those days. So you're able to pick your day and come, or do an all access pass, or maybe win some from the Grizzly Paw promotion, or some, whatever. But it's that's what it's going to be. So 45 and 108, and we're trying to keep
the 108 all access pass will give you all 3 days, all the events,
3 days,
everything, basically.
Everything.
All access, 3 days.
Yep.
Yes,
That's incredible.
Excellent. That's excellent. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Chris, I mean, this is really only our third time we ever speak. So, dude, it was amazing to have you on. Thank you so much. We'll definitely be talking more about GameCon over the next, about 6 months now.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. You're definitely going to hear more. Living the Dream cosplay. Thanks so much again. I don't know when you're coming back to town, but we gotta make sure we get together and do some more shenanigans in Toronto the next time you're in town.
I think you gotta come out west. I've made my trip out east.
Well, we do.
I think the Christmas market damaged her.
June here. I don't know if you've heard of it.
The what? Sorry, the
GameCon Canada that we've got going on.
GameCon Canada? No, how is
that? Cool thing. You guys should probably come.
Well, we'll have another show and talk about it. Yeah, no, you guys.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
We're gonna get you guys down.
Hey guys, for those of you that have sticked with us through the end, holy cow, there's still people watching. Thank you so much. We always love having you guys here. I know we didn't go through a lot of the comments tonight. When there's a lot of information, we don't always have time to go through all the comments, so I apologize if we didn't read or respond to your comments. Hope you got all the information. I did try to keep an eye on the comments, and I think everything has pretty much been answered already. I think that's going to be it for today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, guys. I can't say it enough. It really, really helps us out. That's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay geeky. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, to make sure you never miss an episode.